Hello everyone, we are Group 8. Today we are introduce the history evolution of automobile. This is our team member 肖宗荣、廖文宏、陈天林、陈瑞杰、刘冠甫、葛承凯、蔡义成。And this is our table of content.
First, today I want to talking about the earliest form human transportation, walking and running. Before the invention of vehicle like car, trains, or airplane, people travel on foot. This is the older way for human to get from one place to other. The great thing about walking and running is that it requires no machine or fear. Because of that, it is an environmentally friendly transportation method that does not cause pollution. Even though we have modern technology today, walking is still very important in our daily life. It helps save energy and greatly improve our physical health and fitness. Next. Now, let's look at the history and development of walking and running. In ancient time, walking and running was first method of transportation. Early human uses the feet for hunting and gathering food. They also walking to the travel between villages and explore new land. Before technology, walking was necessary for delivery, messenger, and communication. Over time, as people walk, road and pathways would develop. Today, walking remains a very common way to travel short distance. Next. Finally, let's discuss the advantage and disadvantage of walking and running. Let's start with the advantages. Walking has no cost, causes no pollution, and is a good exercise that improves our physical health. It is also easy and accessible for most people. However, there are some disadvantages. Walking has a slow speed and it is limited to short travel distances. It can be tiring and the weather may affect your travel. Also, it is not suitable for transporting heavy goods. As you can see of the chart on the right, walking and cycling are much greener than driving. These have a very low carbon footprint, making them the best choice of our planet.
This page, I am going to talk about riding animals. Riding animals are animals that people use for transportation. Before modern vehicle appeared, people used animals to travel from one place to another. Common riding animals include horses, camels, donkeys, and mules. These animals were very important in the past because they help people move faster than walking. So riding animals play an important role before cars, motorcycle, and train appeared. Next. This page, there are different types of riding animals. Each animal is used for in a different environment. First, horses are fast and useful on plains. People often use horses for travels, carrying people and something worse. Second, camels are useful in desert. They can travel for a long time with little water, so they are very important in dry areas. Third, donkey and mules are strong and useful on mountain roads. They can carry goods and walk on different paths. In short, different riding animals have different advantage. Next, riding animals were very important in the past. First, they help people travel faster than walking. This made transportation easier and save time. Second, they help people carry goods and supplies. This was useful for farming and trade. Third, they were useful in farming, trade, and war. They help people work, sell goods, and move soldier or equipment. Finally, riding animals help people connect with the other place. Because of land, people could travel farther and communicate with other communities. In conclusion, riding animals were an important part of transportation history.
First, let's talk about the basic concept. Animal-powered vehicles are vehicles powered by animals for transportation. Before modern vehicles appeared, people often used animals to help them move from one place to another. Common animals included horses, oxen, donkeys, and camels. These vehicles were mainly used to carry people, goods, and farming products. For example, cars, wagons, and carriages were all important animal-powered vehicles in the past. Next, let's look at their history and development. In early times, people used cars to move heavy goods because carrying everything by hand was difficult. As farming and trade developed, animal-powered vehicles became more important. Farmers used them to transport crops, tools, and supplies. Merchants also used them to move products between different places. Because of this, animal-powered vehicles helped connect villages, markets, and towns. They played an important role before steam-powered vehicles or modern car appeared. Finally, let's talk about their advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are that they can carry heavy goods, they do not need fuel, and they are useful for farming and trade. However, they also have some disadvantages. They are slower than modern vehicles, and animals need food, water, and rest. Also, travel could be affected by weather and road conditions. For example, muddy roads or bad weather could make transportation much more difficult. In conclusion, animal-powered vehicles were an important step in transportation history. They helped people travel, trade, and carry goods before modern vehicles were invented. Next.
Hello everyone, I'm Chen Rui J. Today I'll talk about the history of early steam cars. It all started with the Industrial Revolution. James Watt improved the steam engine, which allowed machines to replace animal labor. In 1769, a French engineer built Cugnot's tractor. It was the world's very first steam three-wheeler made to haul heavy military artillery. However, it also caused the world's first car accident. Because it weighed 2.5 tons and had no proper brakes, it crashed into a wall during a test. It also had a big flaw. It was super slow and drivers had to stop every 15 minutes just to build up steam again.
Next.
Moving on to the next slide, we see some major breakthroughs. In 1801, Richard Trevithick developed high-pressure steam. Machines. These made engines smaller and stronger, allowing for lighter car designs. He built the Puffin Devil. It successfully carried passengers on public roads and became the first practical steam car. This car had two great innovations: suspension and steering. Thanks to this, it could go over 15 kilometers per hour, making it smoother and faster than horse carriages.
Next,
Finally, let's look at the limitations and the impact of these cars. Even with better technology, early steam cars had flaws. They were too bulky, and you had to wait 20 minutes to boil water before you could even drive. Laws were also a big problem. The British government passed the Red Flag Act, which forced cars to go at a walking speed. This stopped progress for 30 years. Machines, but in the end, these early cars played a huge role in history. They proved that self-propelled vehicles were possible, paving the way for the gasoline cars we use today.
oil-powered vehicles use gasoline or diesel fuel as their main energy source. They rely on internal combustion engines, which convert the energy released from fuel combustion into mechanical power to move the vehicle. One of the biggest advantages of fuel-powered vehicles is their long driving range. They can travel long distances without needing frequent refueling. Another advantage is that refueling only takes a few minutes, making them very convenient for both daily transportation and long trips. In addition, fuel infrastructure is well established around the world. Gas stations are widely available, making fuel-powered vehicles easy and practical to use. However, there are also some disadvantages. The combustion of fuel produces carbon dioxide and other pollutions, which contribute to air pollution and climate change. Because of these environmental concerns, many countries are encouraging the development of electric vehicles and other alternative energy technologies. The development of automobiles can be divided into four main stages. The first stage is early development in the late 19th century. The invention of the internal combustion engine led to the creation of the first automobiles, although these vehicles were relatively simple. They marked the beginning of modern transportation. The second stage is the mass production era. During the 20th century, manu- manufacturers introduced assembly line production methods, which reduced production costs and made cars affordable for ordinary people. The third stage is technolo- technological advancement. Vehicle technology improved significantly over time, with better engine performance, improved fuel efficiency, efficiency and enhanced safety features such as airbags. seat belts, and anti-lock braking systems. The final stage is modern challenges, and the future. Today, fuel-powered vehicles face increasing environmental concerns due to carbon emissions and pollution. To address these issues, many automobile companies are investing in electric vehicles, hydrogen powered vehicles, and other sustainable technologies.
What exactly is an EV? Unlike traditional vehicles that run on internal combustion energy, an EV uses electronic energy as its primary power source. Instead of burning gasoline or diesel, these vehicles are driven by an electric motor. This shift is how car the powered is the most significant change the automotive industry has seen in over a century. Instead of burning gasoline or diesel, these vehicles are driven by an electric motor. This shift is in how cars are powered is the most significant change the automotive industry has seen in over a century. As you can see here, the EV family is mainly divided into three categories: battery electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicle, and fuel cell electric vehicle. We will dive into a techno difference between these in a moment. But first, why is the industry growing so rapidly right now? First, technology. Massive breakthrough in battery storage and motor efficiency have made EV practical and affordable. Second, environment. Global awareness of the climate crisis means move away from fossil fuels in now a necessity for public health. And finally, policy. Governments worldwide are enforcing net zero targets, and switching to electric is the most drastic path to reduce carbon emission. Let's break down the specific technology that power this vehicle. We classify them based on how they store and use energy. First, we have the battery electric vehicle, or BEV. These are what we call EVs. They are 100% reliant on lithium ion batteries and the electric motor. There is no backup energy and no fuel tank. The biggest advantage here is the environment impact. They produce zero emission during operation. For unburned, driving BEV are the best choice for reduced air pollution. Next, we look at hybrid electric vehicle, or HEV. This vehicle acts as a bridge between the old world and new. An HEV combines a traditional internal combustion engine with an electric motor. The key feature here is smart power switching, which automatically choose the most effective power source depending on our speed. It also uses braking energy to recharge the battery while slow down. For many drivers, the HEV is the preferred choosing because it offers high fuel electricity with zero range exits as you can still refuel at any gas station. Finally, we have the fuel cell electric vehicle or FCEV. This is functioning technology where power is created inside the car through a thermal reaction between hydrogen gas and oxygen. Instead of charging a battery from a plug, you fill tank with hydrogen. The environment advantage is remarkable. The only waste of this process is pure water vapor. FCEV are seen as a virtual solution for having dot transport and long distance travel due to their fast refuel time.
Self-driving vehicles use AI cameras and sensors to see what is happening around them. They can drive with very little human help and make driving safer. Second, flying cars can travel on roads and also flying in the air. In the future, they may help reduce traffic and make traveling faster. Overall, these technologies can make transportation faster and more convenient. However, they also bring new safety and local problems. Next. Now, let's look at sleep driving vehicles. They use AI cameras and sensors to collect information from the road. The system quickly studies the information and helps the cars drive safety. One of the biggest advantages is safety. Many traffic accidents happen because of human mistakes, so safe driving cars may help reduce accidents. They can also improve traffic and lower air pollution, making transportation better for everyone. Next, let's talk about flying cars. Flying cars fly over traffic, so they may save time and make travel easier. However, there are still some problems. For example, we need better air traffic rules, stronger barriers, and quicker vehicles. Right now, flying cars are still being tested. If these problems are solved, we may see air taxis in the near future.
This is our reference, and this is our work assignment. Thanks for your attention.